When it really comes down to it, I know a lot of times it sounds woo-woo, especially if it's new to you. But like I said, revealing my two major game breakthroughs is once you're able to just put out that vibe that women are attracted to, you'll literally see them starting to come into your orbit. And once you really get this framework down, the game will shift to the point where I'm sure you've all had it to where the women flake on you, or she'll give you her number and then she won't respond, or she'll set plans then she won't show up, or maybe you're seeing her for a while and all of a sudden she does that pullback. You're like, oh, this is the woman of my dreams, and then all of a sudden, boom, gone, distance. And a lot of guys don't know that they intuitively chase. That's not what they want. You meet distance with equal to or greater than distance. It's kind of a push-pull type game there. But if this all sounds new to you, that's fine, just because it likely is. So we're here to help you kind of iron out some of those kinks in the process. And I've got the cuts, I've got the scrapes, I've got the bruises, I've got the broken bones, I've got the nights laying in bed, like, oh my God, what happened? Is it me? Is it me? Is it me? The cool thing is, it's not you. You have everything that it already takes. You just need to kind of polish off the rough edges and put it together. And then again, instill knowledge in your head, because it is a skill game. To know exactly what to do when these things happen. And then speaking from like a sales and marketing perspective, we'll actually break down kind of what does a dating marketplace look like. It is a vastly changing dating marketplace. You have to be on top of the trends. You have to know how you fit into it. And you also have to realize that most guys, whether they have a game strategy or not, if they are interested in women, they are employing a strategy. Even no strategy is a strategy. We want to give you a strategy that actually works, give you a framework that you can instill in your brain. Again, a jumping off point to where you can get started and where you can start having success quickly. And from there, you can refine it and make it your own, because you're not me, I'm not you. Joel, you're not me, I'm not you.
Nope. One of my mentors, besides Jaron, he told me that dating is learning how to get some bruises and calluses on your heart. Just like in the gym, right? You get those on your finger. I had a very soft heart when I started, so any little like rejection just felt like, oh, like, you know, she just took a knife and just stabbed it. And now after I've gone through this, having, you know, been here in Mexico with Jaron for about almost 8 months now, my heart's a lot tougher. I had a girl I was just seeing for about 5-6 months now, and we just broke it off. It was for the best. But I'm not upset about it. I'm not like sad about it. You know, I have barely talked to you about it. Like the earlier breakup I had, I was heartbroken. Like I felt depressed for like 2.5 months.
But you have to go through that.
You have to go through that. You have to get that callus on your heart.
And you'll learn too, okay, everything is going great and all of a sudden she's not interested anymore. You'll learn to shift your mindset to where, okay, you know, I'll enjoy the experience I had. I built beautiful moments with a beautiful girl, but now she did me a favor by creating space for someone else to come into my life. I know a lot of you guys are probably on self-improvement journeys, and the sad matter of the fact is most women don't really care about self-improvement. So you'll keep leveling up, they'll remain stagnant, and then when she pulls away, she's actually doing you a favor. And again, these are kind of more advanced mental hacks or makeovers you'll start to employ as you get going in this thing. But it's really nice to be on the other end of the equation to where, like I said, once you get the game down, then the rules change to the point where I'm the selector now. Okay, yeah, maybe there's still girls that'll stand me up, maybe there's girls that'll still play little games or whatever, but you learn to identify that. And then rather than getting mad at the girl or at yourself, because you didn't do anything wrong, you learn to realize, you know what, she's not the one for me. When you're the selector, it's the same thing in your business. You know what, you have low quality leads or clients trying to hit you up. A lot of times it's the lower priced ones that give you all the heartache and headache. And when you get those high ticket guys, like, okay, this is the type of client I want to work with. That same thing applies in dating to where you'll run through the mud, you'll go through the ringer, you'll get some cuts, nicks, scrapes, and bruises, but then that one comes along and you're like, okay,
we're gonna have a relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
I was thinking the exact same thing, Jaron, with sales. Like, and guys, like, you know, this is a good segue back to the money part. I'm gonna link a video down below that I did that talks a little bit more about the money mindset in this, because, you know, this is a huge problem for me most of my life. Like my dad, he did optometry, so he was pretty well off. And my best friend in high school, came from like his dad owned like 7 car dealerships, so he was super wealthy. He had the girls, and it made me start to believe that, oh, they're doing so well because they have money. I come down here, and one of my coaches, and Jared helped me with this too, was really to stop tying my worth to money. And I remember the day that this finally broke through, man. I was out doing some day game. If you guys come here for one of our boot camps, we'll go to one of the hot spots down here. It's like a really nice mall. There's like 3 malls like right in the same area. Really awesome girls there.
Yeah, higher end, like classy girls, educated. You know, we're in a nice neighborhood, and you'll find literally the best girls in the country here.
So I remember, like, I was talking to Jaron and my mentor before I went out that night, and I'm like, And like, dude, I'm feeling like super insecure. I just spent a little too much than I thought. He's like, hey man, like I promise you, like your worth is not tied to your money. And that's what your journey is right now to learn. And so that night I was like, hey man, like I'm gonna go out by myself and I'm gonna go in with the mindset that I am good enough without having basically any money in my bank account. I got 7 numbers that night. The most numbers maybe I've ever gotten in my life in one session. And I couldn't believe it. It was just like, it finally made me realize that they can't smell my bank account. They don't know how much money I have. And really, they don't care as long as I master it. Now, when it comes down the line and you really want to develop a long-term relationship, yes, it is important to have money so you can provide in the way you want. But just like Jaren said earlier in this video, they sense the vibe. And because I decided in that moment to change my vibe from insecure, broke, not worthy to I am good enough, having nothing to do with my money, just who I am as a person, everything shifted. And they sense that.
And one error a lot of you guys make is because you've been told time and time again, and I get it, is that once I have the money, I'll get the chicks, is a lot of you guys lead with money. So then that puts you more in the category, that, we all have different relationships that serve different purposes in our life. My relationship with you is different than that of my brother, than that of other friends I have here. Not to say that we're using each other necessarily, but any relationship, male or female, they're reciprocal.
Yes, absolutely.
Women operate the same exact way. Like, okay, if you lead with money, like, oh, this is the guy that takes me to nice restaurants. This is the guy that takes me on trips.
Yeah.
So I always advocate, you want to lead with the fact that I am the guy that she is attracted to.
Yes.
That just gets her going, that she just can't stop thinking about, that gets her nuts, that gets her almost addicted. Then you can start sprinkling in progressively the experiences that rightfully you deserve, that only money can provide. But
Absolutely.
A lot of you guys make the mistake of, okay, I'll take her to the fanciest restaurant in town, and then you're like, oh, it didn't go anywhere. Well, guess what? She's setting up guys like us. Hey, I had a really good date tonight, and literally girls will tell me, like, hey, I was dating this guy, and I really wanted to like him, but he just didn't make a move. It just didn't go anywhere. Yeah. And guys, you'll learn some Spanish too in the course, so they'll say things like, oh, las cosas no se dieron. Like, oh, things just didn't work out, or things just didn't happen. Yeah. What she means by that is you didn't make things happen, and that's fine. We will teach you how exactly to do that.
Yes, yes. And guys, like there's ways, and we'll teach you this too, when you're doing your initial approach, because that's more my style. Online games a little different. When you're doing the initial approach, you can say things covertly. And this is what the next video is going to be, guys. It's going to be how to speak womanese, which is how to talk in their language. So